Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. I almost said the mother effing podcast from trying to be better. I feel like I haven't podcasted in 10 years.
I do too. It feels kind of weird. We always get like so nervous. I don't know why.
Well, the last time we recorded together, we were at your house, and I think so much has happened in that time span. We went to Las Vegas, we had the retreat. Like, it just feels like it was a long time ago.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. I feel unfamiliar.
Yeah, same.
I'm not actually a podcast host. We have lovely Izzy here with us again today. Yeah, we have updates.
Yeah.
You want to start with some of yours?
I guess we'll start with the retreat update because that was like our last episode together. Is the microphone close enough to
You
you?
talk loud.
Okay. I just noticed where it was at.
He's really loud and I'm quiet.
Okay, so the retreat was really beautiful. It was really exhausting, but it was so beautiful. Like I don't even think I fully like registered everything that happened there, but it was a really beautiful time.
I will say you're very quiet
Mhm.
about the things that you do or like the events. Like even on the car ride home, you didn't really talk too much. I haven't really heard you speak too much about it since then. And then also like your social media doesn't really like talk about things. So it's almost like you like absorb it all for yourself and like relish in it, but you don't share the experience.
Okay, well, here's the problem. We had our Super Bowl party the next day, which was exhausting because I was exhausted. And I have been so busy at work. I have really not had a lot of time to even process it because then I went into like my circles for this last week and I just haven't had the time to like really process it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I don't share a lot about things and I need to be better.
I wonder if you had more time available, if you would share, or if it's just something you actually like to just keep condensed. I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never thought about it, to be honest.
Same. I'm like mostly just speaking out loud of like my epiphany.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. It was very beautiful though. I can't wait to do another one. I really can't. Maple Grove is so, I don't know. It's so beautiful to me. And it was just, all the ladies there were so lovely. And it just felt like I don't know, like a really great connection that I don't know how to even explain it.
I mean, I was a third party there and it was very interesting to me because I always go into these events like very like I don't actually know why I'm here, but I'm here to help. And I always get like a bit not nervous. Nervous isn't the right word, but I'm always just like interested, I guess would be the right word, to see like who shows up, how's it gonna be, what's the vibes gonna be. Like I'm big on like energies in the space affect me a lot, or people's energies like make me be like, don't like that, like this, that kind of stuff. And so going into them, I'm always like, what's the vibes gonna be? How are these people gonna be? And it was a bunch of random women. Literally, I only knew Taylor and her friend Tanya, and it felt so comfortable. It felt so safe and comfortable and like almost as if I just known these people forever, like not like super well, but like acquaintances. Maybe I went to high school with them, like that kind of feeling. Or like they grew up in my small town. Like it just felt comfortable. And that was interesting to me. But then also like as I'm there watching, it's always just really wild for me to just see these people go through these crazy journeys and process so many things and heal and cry and connect, and like it's just so vulnerable and intense. And I don't know, it's just interesting. It's a really interesting space to be like a bystander in. And I appreciate that I'm like also energetically safe enough that I can be there. Because I was thinking this at that event, actually. I was like, oh my God, imagine I was like a fucked up individual.
Yeah.
And I ruined the entire experience because I'm like, I'm here for content, but I actually sucked because my energy sucked. And then I ruined it for everyone. So I was like giving myself a little bit of like, wow, I'm so cool.
No, but it's true because because you're considered a facilitator, because even though you're taking like the content, like you have to be that space that people can't be like, oh, why is she here? Because like you're up in their business taking pictures of them.
Your best friend wasn't that person.
I know. That would be crazy.
You have shitty friends.
I know. But it is a whole different experience when you are not participating. You see a lot of things, you see a lot of energies, you feel a lot of things, and it's intense. It's intense to be a facilitator for these type of events.
There was a point that I literally was like, is it fine if I sage? Because there was some people processing some stuff like right in front of me, and like as they were going through it, I almost threw up. Like this wave of nausea and like so much was transferred to me that I was like, I need to fucking sage. Like I'm gonna puke. Like this is not okay. And I was like, if I'm feeling this, like people are feeling this.
Yeah.
It was really, really strange, but it was really cool to see. I really enjoyed being there. Definitely love like watching you do these things. It's really cute to me. I feel
You're like a proud mom.
yeah, I feel like the freaking Mean Girls mom. Where I'm just like, you're doing great, sweetie. Like it's just really cool. So that was fun. It was exhausting. We did go to the wine bar after, which like God, that was
such a treat.
I'm so glad we made that decision.
We literally made it on a whim. Because
Yeah.
we were just gonna go to your house and go to bed because we had the Super Bowl the next day, but we were like, we should go have a glass of wine. And I just needed that.
And I think it wouldn't have been the same if we went home and had wine. Like
Yeah.
we needed to be still
In the
an
presence of
environment.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if we would have come home and had wine, we would have just crashed and never like been able to decompress fully, I feel like. And it was just such an experience.
And can I say, I showed up at the wine bar like an absolute slob, and I am a big person. Like if I'm gonna go out to the bar or if I'm gonna go out to dinner, like I'm not in sweatpants, I'm not in leggings. Like I dress up for occasions. And the fact that I went to the wine bar in high socks, leggings, and an oversized, I think probably the same sweater because this is like my comfort sweater. Yeah. I am disgusted, but I needed that desperately.
Yeah, I also was in a hoodie and leggings and UGG boots. And I remember us both being like, guys, sorry, like
we are not dressed for the occasion.
If you live in the area, I don't know if we've said it already, you need to go to the wine bar downtown. It's so amazing, but you don't dress in like leggings. It's not like a casual wine bar. It's a
fancy place.
I mean, it's not too fancy, but it's fancy enough. You should be dressed. And we were not dressed, but it was fine. And it was like getting closer to closing. We got to sit on the couch. It was dope.
And I got to clean the glasses. That was a highlight of my life, honestly.
I'm tight with the owner and the people that work there. I quite frequently go there, so it's a nice time. Okay, other things to update. We did also go to Las Vegas, like shortly after. So Super Bowl happened. Then we went to Las Vegas. My daughter had a cheer competition. I was there for 4 or 5 days, I want to say. Taylor left early because she was going to get paid extra money. So that was sad, but also good for her because everyone loves money.
Everyone just loves me.
But I want to fucking mini jackpot, you guys. And when I say that we almost passed out. Literally,
this was not even my money. And I've never been so excited in my entire life. I never have been so excited in my entire life.
Here's something that we should have added to that episode. We talked about like your circle of people, like your support group. Because if you can go gambling with someone and they're winning money and you don't feel like you want to hate them, that's how you know you like truly have love for your friends. I was just saying this the other day too. Like if I really won like a bunch of money and like we were like doing stuff, I'd be like, shots on me, drinks on me, here's $100 for you. Like that's because I feel like the energy of the people around you are also impacting your winnings. And I feel like that's just like this courtesy and service that you would provide, you know, like you give back. Like you just won something that wasn't already yours, you give back. And like that's how I was like saying, I was like, if I would have won that $10,000, Taylor would for sure have $500 in our pocket. 100%.
We literally, you guys almost won $10,000. Like we are not exact. We have to tell the story because it's so good.
I didn't say how much I won, but I won $612 officially from the mini jackpot. But we were like, I had been called to this machine. We always like say
from the second we walked in.
Yeah.
She's like, I need to go play that machine.
Yeah. So like I feel like we always like play off of intuition. Like this machine's calling me. Sometimes it works out. I've literally never won anything in my life, first of all. But we finally play it, and I was like, not doing terrible. Nothing great was happening, but like it was like these mining cars, and they all had different colors, and they like looked like they were about to explode. And once something explodes, that's always a good thing on these slot machines. So we're getting this like gold added to it, and we're like, why didn't that explode? Like, what's going on? And all of a sudden this guy walks by and he's like, that was messed up. I just sent you my birthday energy. Like,
well, he was so sweet.
And we were like, oh my God, it's your birthday? Like, what the fuck? Happy birthday.
Like, of course he's gonna send birthday energy to the birthday queens.
And I think like as he was saying that, like a cart, like I got some gold and it went into a cart and like exploded. And so it's like all happening at the same time. And then I got like free spins. So free spins start happening and all these boxes are like opening and this thing says like mini jackpot and like it's exposed and we're like, did we just won a mini jackpot? Like what the fuck? No way. Like our commentary on the videos that we have is so ridiculous. And then I guarantee you, I know for a fact, if I would have had two more spins, I would have gotten the $10,000 prize because all of the other boxes were already open.
You only needed one more box and it was the
Yeah.
number 13.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, $10,000, I would have died.
Yeah.
I would have fucking died.
I would have fainted.
We still didn't even believe that the mini jackpot had been secured, and so it's like going off, and the guy's like, "No, look, like
You won, you won."
We're like, are you sure?
Actually.
Anyways, I won $612. I literally was shaking. I didn't spend any more money on gambling after that because I just felt like that was the luck I needed, and like I didn't want to lose it at that point. Like gambling is like a new thing for me because I hate losing my hard-earned money, but also like I've never won a jackpot.
And the best part is that I screamed when it happened. Like I was so excited. I spilled tequila everywhere. Like I was so excited. And all these people walked over and it's like, oh my gosh, how much did she win? How much did she win? And I was like, $600. And they were like, oh, that's it. And walked away. I'm sorry. In what world is $600 not a lot of money?
I literally had spent, I was thinking about this the other day. I actually had only lost $30 in gambling and I won $600.
And you were playing on the lowest amount on a penny slot.
Like $600 is a lot of fucking money.
$600 is a lot of money, and if it's not a lot of money for you, how privileged are you? $600 is a lot of fucking money, and I was so shocked. It was probably 7 to 10 people who walked over.
Everyone came running over.
Yeah.
And like the video, like I jumped out of my chair.
Hugged this guy.
I'm like, thank you. And like people are like, oh my god, what? And then someone's like, that's all you're betting. Anyways, that's bad energy. Those are people to stay away from.
$600 is a lot of money.
Yeah. It is. We were so unwell. We were sweating
so
bad.
I literally spilled half of my breakfast tequila soda all over the floor because I was so excited.
Let's also talk about that for a second. So we found in Las Vegas the Casa Blanca, which is in Mesquite, our favorite fucking place to go. It's for sewer rats. It's Trash Panda energy, but it's so fun.
We are trash pandas at our heart.
Like I like places where it's cheaper. You can be yourself. It's not super bougie. You can like slum it in yoga pants at the slot machines if you wanted to. And we found that in Las Vegas. Super excited to go back, but like these tequila sodas also are cheaper.
Yeah,
they were
$10,
$12, $24.
Oh yeah, $12.
$12
for a double.
Yeah,
for a double.
For a double tequila soda. We got one the first night and we were loaded.
I probably have not been that drunk in a long time off of half of a tequila soda.
Yeah, it was crazy. So then we were like, and she was like, I'm having one for breakfast. And I kind of thought she was like lying a little bit. But we actually just wake up and get ready. And
I wasn't.
Henley went and hung out with a friend. She went to brunch with a friend. So we were like, wait, we're free. So yeah, we went and got tequila sodas at 10 a.m.
It's Vegas.
And then I won my jackpot. And then we got Chinese food. And it checks out for us. And I kind of wish we were doing it right now.
Yeah, same. So that was our Vegas trip in a nutshell.
So before we move on from that, flying was fine for you because flights have been like a thing. You still talk about the conspiracy.
You know,
like, you're fine
because I can't. Yeah, it's so much information. There's a lot of conspiracy theories happening right now that I really want to dive into, and I just don't have the mental capacity for it. I was stressed when I was getting on the airplane. I was like, please do not let this plane crash. Do not let anything crazy happen. It was a very relaxing flight. It was totally fine. Landing was great, but I was definitely nervous. I'm going to Disneyland next month for family vacation and we're flying and I'm like already kind of having anxiety about it.
I don't know. It's different. Are you guys all on the same flight?
Well, my sisters are driving, but me and my mom and my stepdad are all on the same flight. So
for me, it's more anxiety when I'm traveling with the people I love. So I feel like that would be a thing. But like even with all of this, I have huge flight anxiety. I always like takeoff and landing are bad. I get really sick. My anxiety gets so bad. But I also like love to travel. So it's really confusing. I had to go to Silicon Valley in October. Was it October? November.
I think it was November.
November, and we had to take a small plane. And like small planes also fucked with me like extremely hard. It was like literally 2 seats on each side. That's it, the whole plane. And I remember like freaking out. My coworker was like, "What is wrong?" And I was like, "Dude, flying is actually really scary for me. But when you get in a smaller plane, like everything, you can feel everything." And he was like, "People don't die in airplanes, like blah blah blah."
But so many people
And
are right
now
now.
it's
Yeah.
happening. But I have to go on a flight tomorrow to Las Vegas. I haven't even thought about this at all. Like I'm just kind of like, all right.
You kind of have to, and this will go with
I
like
think
our
that's like anxiety. Like
Yeah.
I don't live in anxiety, and so because of that, like once I get there, I know like
you're gonna be
I'm gonna kind of start to
stressed.
freak out, but I'll turn on my music. I know how to like cope with these types of things. When you live with like anxiety the way that like you or other people do, I think that's when it's very, very different.
Yeah.
But I also still have a huge fear of like dying in an airplane. I think
Yeah.
maybe in a past life this happened for me.
Maybe.
I should ask fucking Judy.
You should. You should ask her your next appointment.
God,
When is your next appointment?
You see her next week.
Yeah, I see her on
Well,
Friday.
we'll talk about that
Yeah.
later. Anyways,
So this is gonna kind of go with our episode, but like the simple joys that I had to do for myself before. Okay, let me go on a little rant here.
by bringing fucking food on that airplane.
Yeah. Listen, I fucking love Quiznos so much. I will always fuck with a soup and a sandwich. Favorite meal, not my all-time favorite, but like a comfort meal is a soup and a sandwich. Quiznos is the best. Their broccoli cheese soup is to die for.
You have Village Baker?
Yes, but it's not the same. Quiznos is so
Nostalgia.
delicious to me. I just found out Salt Lake City has a Quiznos, which so many people let me know that. Thank God. Thank you guys. But I only knew of Las Vegas Airport that had a Quiznos. So I was like, okay, I was kind of cutting it close for my flight because I was having a good time. I did not want to leave.
You had a lot of tequila before you left.
Yeah. So I got to the airport. I was pretty tipsy and I was like, okay, I'm going to get Quiznos. Yeah, it was long. I was really cutting it close. Like
I actually didn't want to tell you this before.
Oh no.
But I had seen a lot of TikToks that like Las Vegas's airport was having a lot of problems with security and
yeah,
like
they were
lines.
slow.
But I did not want to tell her that before
Because you didn't want me to leave.
She'd be like, I need to be like 4 hours early now.
I literally got on my flight as they were like final boarding.
Yeah.
Because I had to get Quiznos. So that was my thing. Is I was like, okay, I'm gonna find my comforts. If this is my last day on earth, I'm drunk on tequila. I have Quiznos and I watched Superbad, and it was a great flight. It was fine.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Well, I think flying is still safe. It's weird the stuff's going on, but like
I think there's a lot of fear mongering too, for sure.
Okay, my other update that I have for you guys is I got my lips done in the meantime. I don't feel like I notice it, but sometimes I notice it. Yesterday I saw a picture and I was like, oh my god, look at my juicy lips. But I have not been able to get Botox and I haven't had my lips done for almost over 2 years. Injections just do something.
Oh my gosh, they do.
They should be on my list for later in this episode, but like injections just really fucking fuel you in something. And I just really need you guys to know that if you're ever feeling some type of way,
get Botox.
Get Botox, get your lips done, get a mini flip, like whatever you want to do. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's something. I had a
it's
very
painful, but it feels good. It's like a tattoo.
Yeah, it is. I had a really stressful day at work yesterday, and I started forming like a canker sore right under my lip right here because I was just so stressed.
It's swollen.
I know, and my lips look so good. And I woke up this morning and I was like, "Oh my god!" I know. See, do you notice?
Okay, so you have a really big bottom lip,
but you need my top lip.
Your top doesn't have a lot of shape right here.
Well, it did, but it's also been like 6 months since I last got my lip filled. But when I woke up this morning and I saw this swollen lip with my canker sore, I was like, oh shit, Bailey, I'm going to be sending you a message and I need some more filler in.
You need way more on your top lip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So thanks, stress canker sore.
Anyways, I got my lips done. I'm really happy. They had a special. I get to get a facial soon, a diamond glow facial, which is like already $200. I got it for $75. So I'm sorry. Budget friendly. That's our new term. So I got my lips done. The other thing I need to talk about really, really fucking quick. I think Ashton Kutcher got a hair transplant, and I need to know if anyone has seen the movie Your Place or Mine, I think is what it's called. I finally watched it last night on Netflix. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. It's been out for a minute, and Wally would never watch it with me, so I kept waiting. And last night I was like, "Fuck it, like you don't live here now. I'm watching this." And it's such a good movie. It's super, super cute, but he looks so different. And I hadn't seen him in a movie for a long time, and I know that he just had that scandal with that guy. Can't remember his name.
Danny Masterson.
Yes, we talked about it on the podcast, and then he stepped down from his like foundation that he was running and all this stuff. But I hadn't seen him in an actual movie. I saw him on the Peloton tread when he was doing those series with them.
And those were so good.
Oh, they were so good.
And I wish
And
he
he's
wasn't
so
a
fucking
creep.
hot.
I know.
But in this movie, he kind of wasn't as cute to me, and it almost was like Zac Efron when he had all that stuff done to his face. Something was up, but then also I feel really confident. I did have a bottle of wine over multiple hours, let me clarify. So I could have been a bit like unhinged in my judgment. I need someone else that if you've watched this movie, I need you to also look at it. Please watch the movie. It's really good. But like I feel very sure that he has a hair transplant. And if you think about it, his hairline kind of already seemed like it would get that way as you age.
Yeah.
If you think about him on
Yeah.
that 70s show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a bit of a different color. It
Had
kind of
a-
had like some reddish tint to it, and it like kind of looked like a toupee.
Oh.
I don't
haven't
know.
watched
And
this
his
movie. I need to
face
watch
was
it.
like he was very thin, but his face definitely has had work done. It's a good movie. Reese Witherspoon is amazing. I love her so much. And they're so cute together. It's a funny movie. I laughed out loud multiple times.
I need to watch it.
It's really good. It's really cute. But I need people to watch it, and I need people to tell me, did he get a hair transplant?
I will watch it and report back because really, Ashton Kutcher.
It's a wholesome like thing you can watch.
Okay.
To be like,
Okay, Ashton Kutcher in that 70s show, so hot.
and it's
so
not
hot.
too like lovey. Like I was worried it's gonna be really lovey. It's not very lovey at all. And that guy that's on, he was on Grey's Anatomy. He's not really on there anymore.
I don't watch Grey's Anatomy and it's
Jackson
50
or something.
seasons. Oh, he was on Euphoria.
Oh my gosh, he's in it. He's so
interesting.
Delicious. It's so good. It's so good. But I'm pretty sure he has a hair transplant.
Interesting. Okay, so my only updates are number one, MGK with facial hair, you guys. Okay, my TikTok algorithm is algorithming because I have so many videos of him at F1.
Oh, God, F1.
He's so hot with facial hair. I am a facial hair
He's
girl.
Like ginger though.
I don't even care. I don't even care. His man bun and facial hair,
everybody
beautiful.
else, I want you to think about Harry Potter. I want you to think about a certain redhead. And I want you to think about that certain redhead having a ponytail, being taller, skinnier, and having facial hair. And you will know exactly who I'm talking about. He looks just like him.
He does not. He is so hot.
He's Weasley.
He's so hot. So as we're talking about hot men, MGK TikTok, thank you to the gods above for giving me all these videos of him at F1 because, secondly, P. Diddy's main lawyer stepped down yesterday. And his reasoning was because he cannot handle the stuff about this case. So we know that it is very, very bad if his main lawyer, that this may or may not be true. I actually just saw this morning. I have not confirmed or denied it, but he was apparently a lawyer on Osama bin Laden's trial. I don't know if that's true, so don't quote me.
Osama bin Laden had a trial?
I don't know. It said he was Osama's lawyer, and he has stepped down because apparently this Diddy case is really bad.
Is this hair straight?
Yeah, girl, that's straight.
I have a straight hair, you guys. Oh, it's curled a little. It's just not as cool as others. Sorry. That was very off topic. I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you also see that the PR agent for Blake Lively stepped down?
No, I didn't.
I think I saw this too, that I think it's the PR agency. I think Leslie, I think is her name. She also just stepped down like the other day. I thought that's what you were about to say, and then I realized we're talking about two different cases. The Blake Lively situation, we should talk about SNL really fast. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, when Ryan stood up and said something.
And did you see her face?
She looked like she was going to shit her pants.
But she does look unwell. So
she does.
I saw some like people on like social media being like, they just came out acting like everything was fine, and instead of being like, oh yeah, despite everything going on, but like even her smiling in pictures, her like she
She's
did not have
not
the
well.
glow that
Yeah.
she's always
Yeah.
had. She's not okay.
Probably because she's lying.
I don't know what to believe at this
I
point.
believe Justin. I am on Justin's side.
I'm still neutral because also I'm someone that's been a victim of sexual assault and I have a really hard time like
Yeah.
really coming for somebody based off something if she felt that way or she has different experiences. He might have messages. I've been around manipulators before. I've been around people that could I literally have been in a situation very similar to where someone could literally say she wanted this, she was coming for me, and I can't. I have
I
to be
get that.
neutral.
Yeah.
So I could see I don't know how I feel about Ryan Reynolds. Everyone's like really coming for him. I'd still fuck him. I don't care. I would.
You know what?
But he looked unwell on SNL too.
He did. And somebody said that his eyes are too close together. And once you see it and it does not go away. Because I used to think he was so cute and funny and like.
You know, on the proposal, I've noticed that.
Yeah, his eyes are so close together.
He's so hot.
He is, but like once you see his eyes.
They both look unwell.
Yeah, yeah.
I still don't know how I feel about the Diddy stuff. It's taking a very long time. I feel like it's not being talked about again. Like Jay-Z and all that stuff, like that came out, but like again, no one's talking about stuff. So it's one of those things where I feel like it blows up, but then it gets so quiet that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that his lawyer stepped down, and I'm like, okay, that's a big deal if your lawyer steps down because the case is too much. Like, there's some really horrible, disgusting things in this case that are going to come to light. So, apparently, he goes on trial in May, and I am fucking here for
Oh
it.
my god, I hope it's like all broadcast. I love that shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the legal system is so ridiculous. That's why I went into legal to begin with because I went through stuff in my own small town that was so messed up and I was like, I need to be there for people. But then on top of it, like if you think about this Diddy stuff and how things blow up and then they go away and Johnny Depp stuff. I was just watching the OJ Simpson documentary on Netflix too, and like I remember when I was going to school, I was going to school to get my associates in criminal justice, and we had to do. Did you shake your head at me?
No.
Oh, I was like saw it in the corner.
No, I'm like, what? Why did you look at me like that?
Alarmed. But we had to do like this whole like paper on OJ Simpson's trial, and I was so young when that happened, and so I didn't hear a lot about it. Like my grandma wasn't watching those things or including me in them, and so when it was happening, we were talking about it, I was like, I didn't really know much about it, but it was happening around like my time growing up. And that documentary again highlights like the injustice and the chaos that can happen in the legal system and how so many people get away with so much shit.
Yeah,
like,
can we lead into our next topic of Gabby Petito?
That's where I was gonna go. But like if you haven't watched the OJ trial on Netflix, that one's really insane. Again, the legal system's just crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen to P. Diddy. I don't know what's gonna happen to Blake Lively. Like everything is just fucked, and the legal system can fuck you. It can help you, but also everything that everyone's posting can fuck you. And it's just like I don't know who to believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gabby Petito's documentary.
Yeah, because I have so much to say about this. We both just watched this last night separately, which I'm sad about because once I started watching it, I was like, I need to watch this with somebody.
I sent you a voice note leaving work and I was like, talk to me if you, because she was having like a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, talk to me if you want to. And then like I didn't hear from her, which was fine. But then I was watching it and I was like,
I know Taylor has a lot to say.
Bug her because she hasn't seen it. And then all of a sudden she texted me about it and I was like, oh, thank God. But I was still trying to be respectful of her space. And so I didn't talk to her too much. But like, I had so many things to say.
Honestly, I am unwell. I went to sleep at 1:45 last night because I am not okay after watching this. I am not okay with how so many people failed this poor girl over and over and over and over again.
I feel really bad for her parents. Like a big thing that highlighted to me, like parents go through a lot with their kids, and like I'm sure they saw red flags. So we try and give them space. We try and like
let them figure things out. Yeah,
and, like, I for sure have been through that with Jaden, but it's like then she died, and then you're like, oh my God, like it was really really crazy. I'm sorry for anyone that hasn't watched it yet, but like you saw everything on social media, so it's not real spoilers. But his parents the way that they acted, everything that went down,
From the second
okay,
it
you're a
happened.
conspiracy theory lady.
Yeah.
Do you think he's still alive?
Yes, 100%.
Because I don't know, it doesn't say this in the documentary, but the way that they identified him was through his teeth.
By his uncle who is a
Yeah,
dentist. By his uncle who is a dentist.
Yeah, so
not the FBI, not this badass FBI chick that was on there.
Oh my god, okay, here's something else I have to say. I'm not a lesbian or bisexual, but I saw her and I was like, she can fucking get it.
Yeah,
Like
she was so beautiful. She was a badass.
Name?
Abby?
Wombat?
Uh-huh.
Wombat?
I think something.
She's a fucking badass and she was so sweet. But if you look at the videos from like the actual video evidence, because it was around 2020 and 2021, and she had such a fucking glow up. This chick is badass. And
yeah.
Like, again, not into women, but she can fucking get it.
Yeah.
Oh
I felt the same too. Okay, yes, he's alive. Okay. I'm sorry. I am sorry. So many people for days were searching for him in this Florida hiking place. I don't even remember what it's called. An hour, a mile from his car. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry. No.
They knew exactly where his backpack was.
They brought the backpack with, I am convinced that they brought the backpack with them and put it in that space, or they did it at night. Here's another thing. How did he leave the house with constant surveillance on the house? Explain that to me. There was constant surveillance and he left to go hiking and then was missing for days.
I mean, there was a lot of like chaos happening around their house, a lot of protesters, but the thing that also got me is if you watch the documentary, the relationship he has with his mom.
It's disgusting.
He maybe is also a killer. And maybe also is sexually attracted to her son.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Mommy issues run deep between him and his mom. And there's no way she would allow him to kill himself.
I am fully convinced that she sexually assaulted him. For sure. She was a creep. That letter that she wrote that said burn after reading the
video
things,
of them on the beach where she's
disgusting.
Like in his face.
Disgusting. And I am sorry, she's so obsessed with her son and has all of these issues and all these things with him, and he's missing for days and she's not even stressed.
She showed zero emotion.
No emotion.
He's still alive. And I don't believe in conspiracy theories.
He is alive.
I still think he's alive. But I want to talk for a second about, I remembered last night the Dog the Bounty Hunter came out of retirement, and that shit was so funny to me last night. I
love Dog. I love him.
I just love his show.
My dad was obsessed with that show, and seeing him like on TV again brought this like beautiful sense of nostalgia that I was like, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Dog's confidence too. He's like, I know he knows who I am. Like he just fucking knew. But the thing that also got me is like I was like trying to reflect back to when this happened because it was so long ago. If you like think about it, but it wasn't that long ago. We were in Mexico when all of this was going down, and when we came back from Mexico, that's when all of this like happened. Like she had just gone missing. We come back from Mexico and all of this happened. And I remember talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter then, and then I completely forgot about it. And then this reminded me, and I was like, damn, Dog the Bounty Hunter. And thank God for him. Yeah, honestly. This case was so messed up from the very beginning. The video of her talking to the police in Moab made me physically sick to my stomach. How unwell she is, and how calm and jokey and casual, and like I have my stuff together. He's a fucking narcissist. Well, even things that he said, like, oh, I hope she's not saying anything bad about me. And all the male cops were laughing, and that one female cop was the one who was saying, I would rather make a decision that could save her life, or rather than make one that doesn't, even if it's the wrong decision. And all of the male cops blew her off. Yep. And the second that gaslit her, made everyone change their decisions. And the second he went to a hotel room and she didn't. Yes. And the fact that she's having a full-blown panic attack, begging to call her mom in the back of a police car, and nobody had the even thought of maybe we should take this girl to a hospital. What the hell? She was having a full-on panic attack. A full-on panic attack, and it was so sad to see. And they already had reports of people saying they saw him beating her. Yes, and she had pictures on her phone of injuries on her face. I mean, again, it's really difficult because I grew up in that small town specifically, right outside of Moab. I know these people, I know all of this stuff, and it's exactly the reason I went into the legal field, because the system and the people, especially in small towns, are even more fucked up. And the guy's like, oh yeah, maybe she just needs a shower. My wife is a lot like this.
Exactly.
All of these people are fucking crazy. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
everyone needs fucking mental health, especially in small towns. It should be required. If you live in a town with this population, everyone gets mental health treatment.
When that cop said that to him in the car after they had this whole fucking conversation about music, and he's like,
Oh, Rob Zombie, you like Rob Zombie?
yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, my wife just needs a shower. I told her to go take a shower while you get this nice ass hotel, and she has to go sleep in a van by
Here's some
herself.
options at the city market, which that city market's lit. Here's some options at the city market for you to find a free shower.
Yeah. It was disgusting. They failed her in so many ways. If I was her parents, I would be so angry. And I am so impressed by all four of her parents. I also have to say, the relationship,
They're strong.
it is really, it was so beautiful to see that, like, she had a stepmom and a stepdad, and like, it was just so beautiful to see all four of them have such a
Seeing her
healthy
dad step up, like the
yes.
second he was like, I flew to Florida immediately. He did all the press conferences.
Well, that was her stepdad. That was her
No,
stepdad.
that's her real dad.
No, it was the stepdad
Girl.
that was married to the mom.
That wasn't the one at the press conference.
Oh yeah. The press
The one
conference.
that was always the face.
Oh yeah.
Not Stan, that's the grandpa. The stepdad was very quiet for most of the documentary. He was more of like a support.
He has so much trauma though, because he was the one that had to identify her body, and that's terrible.
At the end of the day, she was a beautiful light. Like, I remember telling Taylor in one of our voice notes, I was like, she was a beautiful soul. She had like this aura about her, and like you can see it in her videos. Like, and I've seen so many people like this that I know that have passed from like crazy situations, and it's crazy when you like reflect back. There's people that come into your life that have this beautiful energy, this beautiful like they light up your space, they make your world better and all of these different things, and then tragedies like this happen, and it's just like, it's so sad. But I think if you really think about it, like the amount of people that she also brought light to in that time, and also what's happening now with the documentary and her video and what happened with her case, like she actually still brings that, but it's so sad when that has to end. But I think people that have that much beauty kind of can't stay forever.
Yeah, I agree.
I believe that.
I agree. I'll just end this topic because I could go on for days. But on her 1 year, was it her 1 year anniversary of her death, or when they found her body, her whole entire family flew to the
I think it's when they
Tetons.
were able to like actually deal with stuff. They went to spread her ashes.
Yeah,
I
at the Tetons.
Yeah.
And they all took a big family picture, and there was a bright, beautiful, huge orb in the middle of all of them. And I don't know if you believe in orbs or not, but I do. And it was huge, and it was bright, and it was yellow, and it was so beautiful. And I'm even getting chills just talking about it. It was her, and I literally burst into tears when they showed that picture, and I was like, that is her.
That's when I like messaged you. I was like, she really was a beautiful soul. And like the video clips of her like always laugh, like all of the things that she posted, like she was just so happy, and like despite her chaos of this guy, like she really just had such a high energy, and like you could see the beauty in all of these pictures. Like she always was laughing, always smiling, always bringing like she wanted to bring this to the world. That's why she wanted to do this van life vlog. And I don't know, it's just crazy.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched it, it's number one on Netflix right now. Like, you can find it as soon as you sign it.
It's only 3 episodes. It goes by really quick.
Yeah, it does.
It's maybe an hour and a half total.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the watch, even though it will make you very angry at the legal system and Brian's parents and all the things. It's worth the watch because people do need to have like awareness.
Do you think there's people out there that are on his side besides his family?
Don't know. I don't know.
This last night. I wonder if there's people that like are outraged by this documentary.
They should be. Oh, they're
on his side though.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody on his side, because how could you be? He's guilty. He is guilty. He's alive. His parents should be in jail.
Here's what gets me too is like, again, I'm like big on energies, and like I feel them and see them and stuff. And the second he even enters the scenes, like his pictures, like
it's dark.
His energy is dark, and it's heavy, and it's fake as fuck. Genuine personalities and people have always been what I gravitate towards. And the second he was on that screen, I was like, ugh, he is a
Mhm.
fake ass guy. And she had all this like light and beauty. And like he never, even when he was smiling in like the
Mhm.
videos, or she'd say something like complimentary in the videos she was taking, there was no real joy
Yeah,
in
he
his
had a
face. Like
very
he was
dark.
very heavy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy, crazy watch.
Yeah.
Good, sad, crazy.
Anger. Anger. So much anger.
On that note,
Let's go to our topic.
on that note, our topic today is simple joys of life. And we wanted to talk about this a bit because life is really fucking heavy for everyone right now, especially us. And we felt like it'd be a light topic to help remind ourselves and probably you
Mhm.
that the simple joys in life really are important and also can transform your life, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to come in with a definition from Psychology Today because let me get my therapist glasses on. Okay, so what does the simple joys and pleasures of life even mean? The moments, sensations, and actions we experience, feel, and do every day. Often without taking notice, these can lead to a big amount of joy. They are usually the moments that we take for granted or moments that we don't notice until they are gone.
What I would say about how you would define these is small everyday moments that bring happiness and fulfillment even in the busiest and most difficult times. And I think the busiest piece is what I cling to the most. And like as I was writing, because we'll share some of our own simple joys. As I was writing mine, I was like, oh, when I'm busy, because I'm very, very busy. Like I'm so important. Um, but like when I'm busy, chaos ensues and I start to feel like more and more drained. And as I was writing them, I was like, all of these deal with me not being busy.
Mhm.
So I feel like I want to highlight that like your busy period is when you need to highlight like simple joys. And they
Mhm.
really are like moments. They're like glimmers. We talked about that. Like we have an episode I think about
Yeah,
glimmers,
we do.
but they really are kind of like glimmers and essentially could be the same thing, but I think they're deeper than that,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. I think like what I talked about in my last episode, my solo episode, is like the water thing. Like that was such a simple joy that you're able to walk into water or take a bath whenever you feel like it without
Do you even
even.
like baths?
No, I
I
hate
knew that.
baths. I hate baths. But you can do these things without even thinking about them. But once they're taken from you and they're gone, you're like, oh, that actually made me so happy. Like that's what the like simple joys in life are to me.
I think that what's important too is like simple joys can mean something different to everybody. Like it could be that that's a simple joy for you is like water. It could be that like that's what makes you feel like it's a simple joy. For me, if I had to think of something very similar, my face with my Bell's palsy, like I never realized how crucial it was to have full control of your face until you don't have it. And I think that
Mhm.
those are the things that suck is like people lose arms and limbs and or get cancer and all these different things. And you never appreciate fully your life or your abilities, your sense of like when COVID happened and people couldn't
Mhm.
smell or taste, like you took that for granted
Yeah.
every single day.
Or even just seeing somebody's full face. Like
Yeah.
half of people's face were forced to be covered up,
Yeah.
you know?
Like you just never think about those things until they're taken from you and like why it's important and what we want to talk about is like you shouldn't have to wait until it's gone to really appreciate it. Like even when you experience it, we would go to the beach all the time and I'm sure you would be like, hell yeah, I'm at the motherfucking beach.
Mhm.
But you never fully appreciated it to that level until it was stripped away from you. And
Yeah.
like, how do you find the ability to appreciate them without them being taken from you?
Yeah.
I think that's the core thing.
Yeah. And my biggest advice with that is, of course, be present. You have to be present in your life of like, I think it's because also I wasn't going to take this direction, but I guess I am. Yesterday, why my day was so hard at work is because so many people wanted to kill themselves. Like, seasonal depression is so big right now, and people are just going through so much. There's this weird shift happening that so many things are happening in people's lives And it's hard. It's hard to deal with. Like, we're feeling it.
Mhm.
And so many of my patients are feeling it. And we had to admit so many patients to the behavioral health unit yesterday and talk so many patients off of ledges of killing themselves. I heard so many patients detailed suicide plans. Like, that's really hard to hear and that's really hard to deal with. And having these simple joys in your life every day, something that you can look forward to, even if it's something so small, can really save your life. Like, you
It's
have to
true.
have things that you look forward to every day in the midst of hardness and the midst of heartbreak, in the midst of grief. You have to have things that, like, tomorrow I get to do this. Something small. And that's where my therapist had me really start when I was in my really horrible state a few years ago. Is she said, what is something that you can do every day that will bring you joy? And for me, it was opening my windows every day, letting that sunshine in, letting that natural light in, and making my bed. Like, those are my things that I clung on to every single day.
I think what's interesting here too is like we always give extreme examples of like something crazy happens and life is taken from you or whatever. But all of us every day are living a life where it's like our work, something's crazy happening at work, or I'm literally separated from my husband. Like so many things that are like everyday things are happening that are disrupting our lives and making a negative space, a negative frequency is happening. And I was just giving an example at work the other day to like some coworkers because like a lot of nonsense is happening to them and they're not doing okay. They're super negative. Their mindset is super shitty. And I'm always someone that's like, okay, like I get it. And like, let's also be in a higher vibration. That's always like what I've strived to be. And I was trying to talk to them about like the fact that like, I get that this sucks. No one wants to be in a situation like this. No one likes that we're in a shitty situation. And a lot of shitty things are happening for a lot of us every single day, but also the election. Energies, I'm telling you, some stuff is happening in the
Yeah.
world and it's been shifting for a while, but like COVID's not the worst of our problems. Like
No.
weird things are happening where people are
Mhm.
having awakenings and things are shifting and changing and people are starting to like wake the fuck up, I would
Mhm.
say.
Mhm.
And I was trying to talk to them about like the fact that like you have the ability every day to like see this in a negative perspective. And again, this could be seen like it could come across as toxic positivity,
Yeah.
but it's not. Like I'm not trying to say like be toxic and positive at the same time. I'm trying to say like you can sit and suck and you can sit in like the fact that like all of these crazy terrible things are happening and we all have our own battles that we deal with, or we have depression, anxiety, traumas, whatever, but you also really have the opportunity to say like I also have a gift. I'm also still alive. I also have these kids. I also have these things that do bring me little joys that are actually really important. So like what small wins, like focus on the small wins, focus on the smaller things that like really can enhance your mental state and change your perspective. And once you shift, once you have that like thing where you're like, oh, actually this was really cool today.
Mhm.
That alone, and you keep adding to that, like stack, like we talk about like habit stacking.
Mhm.
If you habit stack, but like positivity stack, your whole entire life will transform and it
Yeah.
changes everything. And things will still suck. Things will still be really hard. You'll still
Mhm.
fucking cry. You'll still be fighting over money. You'll still be fighting over whatever. But you also can see that life is actually really cool. And you're
Yeah.
still alive and you're still here and you don't have to lose an arm. You don't have to have cancer. You don't have to have someone die for you to like appreciate that life is still lifing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
That was my TED talk.
it's true because I can promise you, even on your worst day,
Oh my god.
oh my God, your vacuum. I was like, what is that noise? Turn her off. She's been going all day.
Okay, Google, turn off the vacuum.
Oh my God.
Sorry, everyone.
You gotta just push the button. Oh, she's gonna unplug our microphone. Holy cow. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone. Her vacuum is literally freaking out. Go home.
You don't even go here.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's just gonna stop for now. So
Anyways,
sorry.
I am a firm believer that every single day, even on your worst days, you can find something, one thing positive that happened that day, or one thing to be grateful for. That's why I think having a gratitude practice is so important, because every single day there can be something, even if it's something small, these simple little joys, there's something to be thankful for every day.
But I also would say too, like, if you're not someone that's gonna write it in a journal, you're not someone that's gonna speak it out loud, you're not someone that's gonna like stop and pause and be like, oh, let me think of my 5 positive things, whatever, or you don't have those people in your life, like my people I was talking about at work, I told them every day I'm gonna start texting them and say, what's something positive that happened today? If you don't have something like that happening, it doesn't have to be that extreme. Like, and that's I think what we want to highlight in this episode is like, you don't have to be writing it in a journal, you don't have to be like stopping and pausing and having this like whole mindful moment, but like you experience these things all the time, and we want to highlight how to recognize them a little bit more, what they could be, what you might be experiencing that you maybe even brushing off. Like, there's so many times I'll just stop and get a Starbucks in the morning, and they're really nice or really friendly, or I just get it and I immediately feel something different in my body. That is gratitude. It doesn't have to be spoken, it doesn't have to be a thought that was like written or fully formulated. It's like you can feel something change. That energy change is a simple joy. That energy change is gratitude. And even though you don't recognize it, because you haven't like maybe gone on that whole path or whatever, it's still happening to you, and like we want to highlight how you can see that
Yeah. Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And it can be on my circle this past week. I'm gonna keep this not a lot of detail, because I don't think I can, because it has to do with the patient. But anyways, I had this patient in my circle that we've had as a patient for probably 6 or 7 months. And she came in, and during her first treatment, or her intake appointment, when she was meeting with the provider, she said, "This is my final thing. If I do not feel better," she gave like a certain amount of weeks, and she said, "If I do not feel better, I'm killing myself, and nobody's going to talk me out of it. This is going to be my final straw. If this does not work, I am done." And she has a lot of chronic pain, and a lot of her life has changed, and it's a really sad situation, and she has completely transformed. She is such a beautiful soul of a person. And she was at my circle this past week, and I just had like this prompting to say during the breath work, like, place your hand on your heart, feel your heart beating, and have this gratitude for just being alive, like just being alive. And she shared with me after that she is so thankful that she found our clinic and we saved her life, and she's so happy to be alive and she got her life back. And she's like, when you had me do that, and when you said that, and I felt my heart beating, I had this overwhelm. It was like a wave of gratitude that was like, I am so thankful I did not end my life, because just having this heart beating in my chest, even though life is still hard, even though I still have pain, even though I still have medical things happening, like, I am alive and I am here and I am breathing. It's the simplest thing, that your heart is beating and you're breathing, that I am thankful for. And that just really stood out for me, of such a simple thing. Like, you can just place your hand on your heart and just feel your heart beating and be like, wow, like,
Yeah.
my heart does so much for my entire body. And that's enough to just be grateful for, you know?
I mean, I think, and like we had just said, like, it's important because it puts you in the present moment when you experience something like this. But like the biggest thing that I think I would want to highlight too is like it shifts your perspective. It reminds you that like things don't have to be these big grand milestones. They don't have to be these big impactful, crazy scenarios. Things like this are happening in everyday moments. And it's up to you to like feel and be present and to be like, whoa, that made me feel something. Like one example that I'd give that's on my list that I'll share right now is like anytime, no matter what's happening in my life, when I hear Henley or Jaden do like a real, genuine, deep laugh, like their true, genuine laugh, immediately I feel something in my body where I'm like, God, that made me so happy. Like it made me feel like life was actually being lived. And it's like those tiny little things. And it's like I feel it for a split second. I always am just like, whoa, that was a real laugh. And like, that's it. It doesn't
Mhm.
have to be some milestone. It doesn't have to be some crazy thing that happens. It just has to be something that puts you in a moment where you're like, ah, that was cool.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's really simple. It's a
Mhm.
simple joy.
Mhm.
And that's a simple joy.
Yeah. It's funny because on my simple joys list, I also have like the sounds of my nieces and nephews laughing and playing. It just
Yeah.
like,
It's so
I
weird.
don't know. Yeah, it just does something that you're like, oh, they're so
Personally,
happy.
for myself, I fucking hate my real laugh. Sometimes I'll hear it.
My
I
gosh,
think you feel. I think you
I
feel
feel
the
the
same.
same
I
way.
think
Yeah.
every adult probably feels the same when you do like a real laugh. Because I have a loud laugh,
I do too.
and
Yeah.
like there's times where I'll be like laughing with people, and I'm like, oh my god, they probably think I'm so fucking annoying. But like that was me being in pure happiness,
Mhm.
and then I have to just like take that away and not be like, don't worry about it, don't be insecure, because that's not who I am. But like there's this moment where I'm like, God, my laugh is so fucking obnoxious. Like it can be so loud. But when I hear it from my kids, it just does something different. It
Mhm.
does something different to me.
Mhm.
I hope, I mean, I'm sure they will, because I really believe every adult feels this way about their laugh.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
have joy in your life and you ever actually laugh, you feel this way.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
For sure. For sure. I hate my laugh so much.
Laughs are kind of obnoxious.
They kind of are, but like they're so happy at the same time, you know?
Now I'm feeling insecure. I don't want to laugh. The other thing I wanted to say is that I think it also resets your stress levels. I
Mhm.
think when you experience this thing that we're talking about, your stress kind of depletes a little bit. Like I was saying, anytime I'm going through anything, I can be the most irritated day. I can be so frustrated. I could be like, don't fucking speak to, like, I want my children to not even be in the room. And then if they laughed, everything would change. I would feel completely softened in that moment and my stress levels would change. I would have a reminder of like joy. And
Mhm.
I feel like it can just change that like stress level that like I think everyone experiences stress. So I know I guess I just like wish I could like shake people and be like, I know you feel this. Are you
Yeah.
understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So benefits, here comes the sciencey stuff. Benefits of the simple joys of life. It actually boosts your immune system and it fights stress and pain and improves your chance of living a longer life. The heck? What is happening? We always have the weirdest things happen during our recordings. Sorry about that noise, guys.
I can hear it. Someone has a really loud car outside.
The heck? I've never heard that car.
We're in a neighborhood. Calm down.
Okay, so finding the simple joys in life can help broaden your perspective and build your resistance. It can also restore feelings of happiness and positivity.
I want to hit for a second, which is not something I wanted to talk about or plan to talk about, the immune system thing.
Mm-hmm.
Stress plays the biggest part on your immune system.
It does.
And I know I've talked about it before with my last job. I used to be sick all the fucking time. All of the time.
You literally carried Alka-Seltzer in your
I mean, I
purse.
still do, and I'm so grateful for that version of me because now I'm prepared for anything. I always was sick. It was like
Yeah.
around the clock. And like I always just accumulated it to the fact that like I grew up with not such a great environment and I had secondhand smoke and my immune system wasn't great. I was always sick as a child. I have secondhand smoke, which like really impacts like your immune system. But I live a really healthy life and I never really connected all of those dots. And once I left my job, stopped having anxiety to like the 10th fucking degree and having stress the way that I was having, I literally don't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
I actually used to enjoy being sick because I'd drink wine and have Alka-Seltzer or Tylenol cold and flu, and I'd feel like I was on scissor, and it was fucking fun. It was a simple joy at the time.
Because you were at such a low point in your life. Let's say that because that is dangerous.
No fucking joy.
That is dangerous.
That
I do not recommend.
I actually do recommend it. I will still recommend it today. If you're feeling sick, Tylenol cold and flu liquid version and a glass of red wine, top tier. Chef's kiss. Would do it today.
I do not recommend.
No kids are listening. If you're an adult, that's on you. Anyways, I don't get sick anymore. And like, I don't think I ever fully understood anxiety and stress playing a part on my immune system until I finally started making changes that got me out of a place where I was living in that. And now I don't experience it. And anytime I start to even get like a mild sickness and I suddenly like don't feel the same when I work out, I'm like, wow, I don't appreciate enough the fact that I can work out every day until today. And like, it's just weird. You don't realize like stress, anxiety will literally attack your entire body and make you feel like shit. And like, maybe sometimes I think about this about your leg. This is news a little bit to you, but like, you live a very stressful life and you have a lot of energies. And like, the last 2 days with you, especially in your voice notes, I was like, this bitch is not fucking okay. And it's not normal for Taylor to not be okay. Let me just start there.
It takes a lot to get me to the point I was yesterday.
The way that her voice notes were, I was like listening to them and I was like, it was hard for me to hear. And I was just like, and maybe this is why her leg can't heal, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't realize how much those things impact your entire body. Lately, this is probably maybe just me grasping at straws, maybe not. My face, after being like, I'm done with this relationship right now, this is weighing on me, my face is completely different. I don't feel the aching that I used to feel in it. My Bell's palsy feels completely different than it felt for the last almost 10 years. And I think that it's like we just don't appreciate enough like how much our bodies attack something that's weak when we are not okay.
Yeah.
Or in an environment that's not okay.
Yeah. For sure.
So,
the body keeps the score.
A second TED Talk.
What are some of your simple joys in life?
Wait, are we going there already?
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, before I get there, I just want to say one other thing. We already talked about how simple joys strengthen your gratitude, but what I want to also highlight is that it keeps the positive vibrations of like, I believe that like if you live in a more positive energetic field, more positivity comes your way. And I think that if you think about gratitude, sometimes that can be hard. Like I was saying, you don't write it down, whatever. But if you are living in this state of like searching for these things, you're going to be tearing up into like that next level of like, this is positive, this is good, and more good comes to you. So like, just really want to focus on
that. It's true. More good does come to you when you focus on the good.
I have some examples before I share mine.
Okay.
Examples, maybe I should share them after. No, I'll share them now. Examples of how you could find your own morning rituals, music, fresh air, luxuries, little luxuries, kindness, laughter, comfort food, nostalgia. You were talking earlier about something that like I think this is a nostalgia thing. Nature and unplugged time. So those are some very simple like categories for you to like. And as I was writing those down, I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. As I wrote mine down after that, though, I was like, mine fall into very like one or two categories. So one of my big ones, being outside. Nature. Being in nature. I don't know what it is. I have multiple things where I was like, oh my God, this is all nature.
I have that on my list too.
So a big one for me, the smell of summer, fresh cut grass, and it's hearing sprinklers. Like that is a nature thing that like the second I see it, smell it, or I'm around it, everything around my energetic field completely shifts up. Yeah.
Mine is along that same wavelength. Growing up, I always sleep with my window open. I don't know what that's about. Even right now when it's so cold, my window's still open. Yeah, I always have my window open. And my dad would always wake up early on Saturdays and mow the lawn. So in the summer, waking up, you hear sprinklers from the neighbors, you hear your dad mowing the lawn, and like that fresh cut smell of grass is coming through your window on a Saturday morning.
It changes everything.
Yes, it's so nice.
One of mine too with the sprinklers plays into my nostalgia. My grandma had these certain types of sprinklers and they made that
love that sound
noise, and that was such a comfort for me. Anytime I even made Wally at one point in our old house buy a sprinkler specifically that sounded like that, because they don't really do that a lot unless it's like a big grass area. I had to have that because I was like, I need to be outside at some point and be able to hear this sound. And it was a nostalgia thing. It was something that like, it just made me feel safe, which is a weird thing to feel. But like, I would wake up in the morning and I felt safe and I heard that sound like, and I love it every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved it.
I love that too. Another one of mine is the first sip of coffee in the morning. There is nothing, I think I shared this on my Instagram the other day. There is nothing like that first sip of coffee in the morning. And like the Instagram meme was kind of funny because it was like you won't feel that again until like the next morning that you have coffee. And it's so true. Like you can have an afternoon coffee and it doesn't hit the same as like that first one or two sips of coffee in the morning. It's just like pure bliss in your mouth.
Mine for me with coffee isn't like the coffee itself, it's Starbucks. Being able to go and have the money, the privilege, the opportunity, the slowness of like, I'm getting a coffee. I don't have to make it. It tastes completely different. It's my order. I get the same thing almost every single time. Like, that to me is my joy. It's not the taste of it, it's the experience, the opportunity, the privilege of it all. But on the lines of Instagram, I had just posted one yesterday actually. One for me is a nice, beautiful wine glass. The skinny stem, this one's not a good example. This is very heavy, actually. A very skinny stem, like you hold it and it feels like it could literally, like if you pushed even a little bit more, just snap in half, or it being very thin. A wine glass literally makes me, I could probably get off on it. Not on the wine glass, but like
Oh
it is,
God.
I'm telling you, such a beautiful
I
thing
was
to me.
not expecting you to say that.
I say this because when I was driving home today from cheer competition, this guy was on a motorcycle who's, oh my god, so obnoxious. Some people on their motorcycles are so fucking ridiculous. He wanted so much attention. His sweater also, once I got closer, said, if you honk, I will come.
Oh
And I
my
thought,
gosh,
that's
trash.
so aggressive. But like
Trash.
honestly, that's a simple joy for me. Like I'm telling you, it just brings me so much happiness. A good wine glass. And I posted about it, and I don't think people really understood that I really feel passionate about wine glasses.
Yeah, you
The
do.
wine bar we talk about, they have good wine glasses. I just saw a review on Instagram of a different wine bar in Salt Lake, and I was like, what is this place? I started looking at it. They literally have Walmart wine glasses.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, that's trash.
Yeah.
I would not even want to be there. It doesn't bring you that simple joy.
We did a wine tasting on one of our cruises that we went on, and they had us try the same wine in different glasses. The glasses makes the wine taste different. It really does. It's a true thing. Okay, my next one is we kind of already touched on this, but the sound of my nieces and nephews playing and laughing while me and my sisters are being our annoying selves. There's something.
There has to be both.
Yeah, no, like it can be one or the other, but there's just something about all five of my nieces and nephews together because one of my sisters lives in St. George, so we don't see her all the time. And like when all five of them are together, they are just so giggly and laughy. And me and my sisters, I mean, if you have sisters, you know, when you're all together, you're obnoxious. It just happens. I don't know why. And my mom is annoyed at us. We're hearing the kids laughing and playing upstairs, and me and my sisters are just doing stupid shit. Like, that is so happy to me.
I love that. Another one for me is sitting on my porch with a glass of wine. Like, the ability to be able to slow down and just sit and have a glass of wine and be like, wow.
Literally anytime the weather is good. I was asking Shelby to do it today and she said it was too cold. You will find us on her front porch with a glass of wine.
But also fuck my neighbors because
they're loud.
Not all of them. There's some good neighbors, but the across the street neighbors, I've talked about them before on the podcast.
They're the
fucking
worst.
Mormons and their kids. I shit you not. Anytime I've ever sat outside in the morning for coffee or in the evening with wine.
They are always outside.
Somehow these fucking kids know, and all the kids come outside, and all I hear are these fucking Mormon. There's literally like 8 of them. And
it's a true story because then the neighbors are their best friends and they come out too.
It's a lot for me.
Yeah. Okay, a hug. People really underestimate the power of a hug.
Did you know you should have 8 hugs a day?
I believe it. I give a lot of hugs at work. I really do.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
If that's like a very grounding thing for people when they're under ketamine, is like
strangers.
All the time. And the power of a hug is it's so beautiful. A hug is so beautiful. It's such like an intimate, vulnerable space.
I could very rarely hug a stranger. I did hug a stranger at the wine bar recently.
You hugged a stranger when you won your jackpot.
He wasn't a stranger. He was like if you feel any type of like not stranger danger, for some reason I can tell that you have good energy. I hugged this girl at the wine bar. She was, I don't even think I told you about this girl. She was having a full meltdown. I went to the bathroom to go pee. She was losing it, talking to some lady. I thought they were best friends. I get out, I'm washing my hands. I just found out they just barely met. And she was having this, and while I was peeing, I was like, this girl needs a hug. I hope her friend hugs her. I remember thinking this. And I get out, I wash my hands, and as I'm washing my hands, she's like, I know I just met you like 2 minutes ago. And I'm like, what the fuck? Everything you just told her, you just met her. I was like, this girl's so unwell. And I remember just being like, I have to give her a hug. And I gave her a hug. That was like,
and it was probably beautiful.
It was.
Yeah.
She really appreciated it. There's very few occasions where I would just offer a hug to a stranger. You have to be somebody that's like, and we probably maybe 20 times have hugged.
It's true. It's true.
That's so uncomfortable to me that you put a hug on there.
I love hugs. I think that they're so sweet and tender.
Of you. Ew. I gotta move on. Beautiful red wine is one for mine.
Yeah.
It has to be red wine though. Like I don't know what it is about a red wine. It brings me so much peace.
Yeah.
Like
I can feel
you
that.
taste it. That's why I think I hoard my wine. Like you taste it and you're just like, wow.
I don't want this to run out.
I never want to not experience this again.
Yeah. Compliments to other people and seeing their face light up.
I have something similar. I have people smiling because of me.
Yeah.
Or because they're happy. Like seeing somebody feel joy.
Yes.
Brings me so much.
Compliments are so underrated. I try to make at least one compliment a day. That was like a challenge I had for myself a few years ago, and I make at least one compliment to somebody a day because people do not give enough compliments. And like, if you like something on somebody, fucking tell them.
Here's the flip side to that though, is a lot of people have trauma around compliments, and I had to learn how to receive compliments. Most people don't know how to receive a compliment.
I know, because they don't get them enough.
But also you giving it to them gives them anxiety that they have to either work through, or just adds anxiety because they're not in a place to work through it.
Well,
but I had to learn this. How I knew this was a problem for me. I didn't want to be one of those people, and so I learned. But I really believe most people get so much happiness by other people paying attention to them, which is a sick cycle if you're not in a healthy space. But like somebody doing something, opening a door for you, giving you a coffee, any little subtle thing that like is, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Another one I have, lighting candles. I have this weird thing with fire. I low-key think I could be a pyro. I think you did like a fire meditation, or something.
A candle meditation, yeah.
One time, because I truly like when I used to read my tarot cards, the candle flickering was what determined the cards for me. I have this weird thing that like lighting a candle or having a flame, like it really changes everything around me. It's really, really strange. I could literally light a match right now and be like,
lighting candles was on mine too.
Really?
Yeah. Another one was this is a very niche thing, but it brings me a lot of happiness. The first sip of an ice cold margarita when you're in Mexico. I don't know.
That's really weird.
I just think of like when we went to Mexico and like that first sip of the margarita, and we were like, we're finally here. We had so many people. Like,
I don't even remember my first margarita there.
Really? How? It was when we were overlooking the ocean when we first got to the hotel.
Don't remember it.
Well,
I remember our birthday shots at dinner.
Yeah, I remember that. No, but the first sip of a margarita, it doesn't even have to be in Mexico, because I always get margaritas on vacation. Just like that first sip of a margarita when you're on a vacation. Oh, nothing better.
Interesting. This could be a niche thing, but I think probably not. Cheese. Cheese brings me so much joy. I always spend so much money on cheese.
You do.
I always have cheese in my fridge. I half the time don't even eat dinner. I just grab a slice of cheese. On my way out to somewhere, I grab a slice of cheese. And
do you like string cheeses?
Yeah.
I love string cheese.
I love it, but it has to be a certain
the
brand.
the string head.
No, those are trash.
I like the string heads.
Oh my god, those are so waxy.
No, what's your favorite string cheese?
Oh my god. We'll talk about this later. Wow. Those are so waxy and toxic.
like
Have you put them on
those.
your Yuka?
No, but I like them.
Oh, they're trash.
Really?
That is not fresh mozzarella.
Huh. Interesting.
Ugh, barf.
Okay, well, another one of mine is when you wake up in the morning and you like stretch your arms up above your head and like point your toes. Oh, that feels so good after like a good sleep. Like,
I have literally never done that. I want to highlight. This is actually a note I had. Let me read it specifically. Your simple joys can be unique to you. So don't feel uncomfortable if you have a simple joy that other people don't have. I don't feel uncomfortable right now. I am judging slightly.
Why?
Just because it's different than mine, because that's what we do as humans, but like I'm shocked. I'm appalled.
Really? Huh.
I've literally never woken up and done that.
Oh, it feels so good. After like a good sleep, you just like, oh, you make that like stretchy noise.
You're such a princess.
I love that.
That's what princesses do. Like, oh. Okay, another one I have is going on a walk. I have a trail outside of my house, or even a run sometimes, but being able to go on a walk or a run on this trail and the sun is shining. The weather is warm. Warm weather, vitamin D, give me all that D, baby. Really changes my life.
Yeah, I have sun shining on my skin. So
anytime I can just be like, I'm going on a walk. I have a completely different experience.
We should go on a walk after we record
Girl,
this.
it's fucking winter. We are not going on a walk. We're getting pedicures.
Warm. Okay. Finishing a good book. I hate finishing a good book, but I love it because you finish it and you're just like, oh man, that was such a good book. I love that feeling.
Experience that. My hot tub. My hot tub brings me a lot of simple joy that like it's a pain in the ass. I have to schedule it. I have to be like, I'm getting in the hot tub. It's a process. Every time I sit in it, I'm like, yes. And this is what I want to highlight because I have other things, but I don't feel like oh wait, one more thing before I get to this. Loud music and being able to sing to it is
I have that on my list too.
Music changes my life. It's always been powerful for me. I used to be that person that made a million CDs. I always had the best music. Music is healing, transformative, all of these things. The thing I wanted to highlight is a lot of mine come from stillness, peace, alone time, nature, and people in my space being happy. Like, and I think that's what I like really started to notice is like, wow, a lot of these things were me, outside noise is gone. Stillness, peace, I'm alone.
Quiet.
Yeah. And like also knowing that I have an impact on people being happy or people I love and care about being happy. Like those truly are the simplest things. And if you just make the time for them, and if you actually appreciate them, I know everyone experiences this. You have things just like this in different ways, maybe. It's maybe a bit weird. Just kidding.
If you stretch in the morning, let me know.
But you have them, you're just not paying attention to how they made you chemically feel in your body. And I think that's what's important.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we have an asking for a friend and I have a TikTok to go with it.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna read the question and then I'm gonna play the TikTok in the microphone. Hashtag asking for a friend. Am I the only one saving my vacation clothes for vacation? And here is the TikTok. Let me play it. Because this is true. I saw this the other night and it is very true. Ready?
Where we buy brand new clothes to go out of town and them people ain't even seen our old clothes.
Why do we do this? Why do we have to buy new clothes for vacation? Save them for vacation when people haven't even seen what our regular clothes are.
I think it's something about like that feeling of like this is new for this experience. I am a subject of this. I have recently gotten away from it and started to try and be better about it. But if you think about it, if I'm going to Mexico, I'm not wearing Mexico clothes in Utah. I'm not wearing this type of stuff. So I buy stuff because I'm like, I'm going to fucking Mexico.
Mhm.
There are some stuff I could wear before, but I think it comes back to school clothes. I truly believe that you got school clothes and you couldn't wear them until the first day of school. It
Mhm.
was like, I got these clothes, I can't wear them until then. Nobody fucking knows if you got them in July and you wore them to a barbecue.
Yeah.
Nobody has any idea. It's the Christmas, it's the feeling, it's like this is a fresh ass fit and you have to wait. And that started from this time you started fucking school.
Mhm.
And then add vacations, add whatever. I've started to try and be better about this. I still do it a little bit.
This is.
But you have to think about different trips too.
Yeah.
It's okay sometimes.
This is a toxic trait of mine. I have certain clothes for certain things, and I don't like mix them, I guess.
I have some stuff that is definitely saved for a trip where it's like if I ever go back to Mexico, when we went on a cruise,
Mhm.
I had some stuff where I was like, damn, I haven't pulled this out of the archives for a minute.
Mhm.
But there are some stuff where I'm like, I could wear this in some, like, I've started to get more essential pieces. I've started to try and be more friendly. Like, I don't want to have just a bunch of shit. So it's like, if I have this crop top tank, I could wear it in the summer and I could wear it on a cruise. If I have these certain swimsuits, they're not just for a cruise. If I have this dress, I don't wear dresses, first of all. But like, if I had them, I just got rid of them. I don't really enjoy having them around my house. There's two that I still have from Napa that I still bring out because they're fine. They're staples. They're not like these wild prints that I'm like, oh, this is only for a tropical vacation.
I have this toxic trait.
Marie Kondo.
Yeah, I do need Marie Kondo my closet.
Yeah. And your dresser.
My closet's a nightmare.
She has a huge fucking house, a whole closet, a whole dresser. All of them are full of clothes.
I have another closet that you haven't
and
seen.
The biggest fucking mudroom I've ever seen, full of shoes.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have certain clothes for certain things. So I don't know why people do this. I don't know why you feel like you need a whole new wardrobe to go on vacation when people haven't even seen your old clothes. Like, I don't know.
think there's anything wrong with wanting new stuff. I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, I'm going on a trip. Treat yourself, bitch. Do it. Buy a swimsuit. Buy some shorts. Buy a couple things that you're like, I've been wearing this for a while. That's okay. It's okay if you want to save it. I agree with that. But maybe get rid of some old shit.
Yeah.
I don't care if you save it. That's not the problem to me. Keeping and stacking is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
But saving it,
let us know your thoughts. Obviously, we judged. Tracy's asking for friends.
I heavily judge.
But thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Sorry it went a little long. We obviously had a lot to say. That's what happens when we miss a week recording together. So yeah, make sure you do all the things that they say at the end of the episode. So
They, as in she.
As in me. Bye.
Bye.